Our next guest this morning, joining us from, I suppose he probably had to get off work at Copper Queen Hospital, is Brad Marvin, Manager of Cardiopulmonary Services. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning. How are you?
Were you already working?
I was just starting.
Just starting. So your day starts pretty early down there.
Yes, absolutely.
And, okay, cardiopulmonary is a pretty big word. I suppose it means heart-lung. What kinds of work do you do?
Well, we do all sorts, really. A lot of assessment as far as patients' breathing, how well their heart's working. We do a lot of echocardiograms, EKGs, breathing treatments. We treat everybody from the neonate to the adult geriatric. Everybody has some issues with breathing at times in their life.
What kind of issues do you face in breathing? Are we talking things like asthma, or are we talking about much more severe things?
Both.
Okay.
Both. And you can't even refer to asthma as being minor. But yes, you treat asthma a lot with the bronchodilators. It's generally a reversible type thing.
Right.
And then you have lots of diseases that come on obstructive, like emphysema, that come from smoking or gas or just inhaled irritants in the air.
There's a term that we hear a lot, COPD.
Right, and that's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Okay.
It is a big word, and
that's why it's just COPD.
Right, and it goes right along with emphysema. It's just bigger words, so to speak. And there's a lot of damage that happens over time of inhaling irritants that destroys the little sacs in the lungs.
Okay, and I suppose historically the number one irritant that people have inhaled is cigarette smoke, either first-hand or second-hand.
Right.
And so you see a lot of people that are ex-smokers or current smokers that have these problems.
Absolutely. And, you'd be amazed at how many people, after the Surgeon General came out and finally established the fact that smoking was bad for you, that actually quit.
Really?
Yes.
Now, that's good news.
And that was, what, 73?
Yeah. So people have finally been giving it up. I suppose Europe is a whole other world, though.
It is.
They just don't think about that.
They look at it as, hey, it's your right, and a lot of it is. But what we've really discovered more recently is how dangerous secondhand smoke is, and that it does cause a lot more lung disease than people realize, and it kills.
Yes. Brad, what's your background? You've been here about 6 months now.
Correct. I've been a respiratory therapist for a little over 20 years.
How do you get an education for that?
You go to school.
Okay, where did you go to school?
I went to school down in Texas. I got an associate degree, and that's usually about the best way to go. There are baccalaureate degrees that are offered.
Okay.
A lot of it is clinical. So I started off in level 3 nurseries working with the premature babies, and then got into pediatrics, did a lot of adult trauma, and have got on a flight team in Denver, worked doing that for about 4 years for the University of Colorado Health Science Center. That was very exciting.
What brought you to Bisbee?
Believe it or not, my folks are down in Sierra Vista, and I came down to help them out, and met the woman of my dreams, and got married and stayed.
See, sometimes doing a good deed can pay you back.
That's right, absolutely.
So
I like that.
Now you're managing cardiopulmonary services at Copper Queen. You don't do anything in the medical world without some pretty sophisticated equipment to help you out. What kind of tools and toys do you have down there?
Well, we've recently acquired a pulmonary function testing machine, state of the art. It's a body plethysmograph. Obviously, that's a big word.
Yeah.
And we usually just
BPG.
we call it just the body box.
Body box. Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory. It looks kind of like a phone booth. It's very cool. You step inside, and you can do a lot of the tests without, getting inside. Some people are a little more claustrophobic.
Sure.
It's all clear. But with this, we're able to differentiate the types of problems people are having with their lungs.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it used to be, hey, I'm having some trouble breathing, and they'd try you out with some bronchodilators. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Maybe some steroids or something. What this does is it aids the physician and making a more exact diagnosis so that they can treat those situations with the correct medications. Sometimes it's just exercise.
So if folks out there have been trying a variety of bronchodilators and other things and still have breathing problems, now they can just go to their primary care physician here at Copper Queen Medical Associates and say, hey, I understand you have a body box that you can put me into, not a body box, a breathing box, yeah.
Yes.
Body
Paper
box is a
plastic.
little bit different. And really find out what's going on. The doctor says, sure, I can take care of that. I assume that that's covered by insurance and
yes.
Medicare and all that stuff.
Yes.
So really, you got some pretty sophisticated ways of resolving these things rather than having to, well, try this for a while and try this for a while.
And that's the nice thing about it. It's really a shortcut. And as you said, you know, your primary care physician can just refer you, and we'll do this exam, and then we give your primary care physician all the information, the printouts,
Okay.
and they're able to go off of that and make a very nice assessment and even decide whether or not you might need to see a pulmonologist. Rather than just going ahead and referring you to one, you know, it could take up more time when it could be taken care of without even having to see a pulmonologist.
Okay. So really, it's just one more high-tech tool for getting an accurate and quick diagnosis.
Very much so.
Well, that's
And
pretty nice.
It's really nice to have. It's the newest, nicest one in Cochise County.
Mm-hmm. Brad, you also do cardio work. What do you have there? What kind of work do you do?
We're doing some stress testing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously we'll start with, you know, an EKG, as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And if a physician sees something there that needs some follow-up, a lot of times we'll do a stress test where we hook up a bunch of leads and do some exercise testing on a treadmill just to see, you know, how your heart's going to respond to a little bit of stress.
And that can sometimes show whether there's any weaknesses or perhaps there have been problems with your heart, or it'll
Correct.
just show up a lot of things.
Correct. And it's really nice because it aids in a lot of preventative work.
Okay.
You know, it keeps from waiting for the big one.
Right.
A lot of times you can see some stuff, like you'd said, that might have been happening before. A little bit of exercise agonizes it, and we can go ahead and get it treated, refer you to a cardiologist.
So if someone says, you know, when I do much, I get this pain right here, they should be at their primary care physician saying, you know, when I exercise, I get this pain here, and then he'll put them through tests like this one, perhaps, to find out exactly what kind of shape their heart's in, and then say, hey, here's what you need to do.
Yes, very much so.
Brad, we seem to have a hard time in this country admitting that perhaps our pains are symptoms of something. I know that Copper Queen Hospital is going to be doing a major campaign in the months to come about the warning signs of stroke, because so many people say, it was nothing. And similarly, people with chest pain say, it's nothing. But they should be.
They should be concerned. I mean, you're better safe than sorry.
Sure.
And you're correct with there's so much denial. You know, you can ask the question, are you having chest pain? And they'll tell you no all day. And if you didn't ask them if they were having chest pressure, they'll tell you just that. Well, you didn't ask if I was having any pressure, you know, and they're having a heart attack. And it's a denial thing. And you shouldn't blow that off.
Why is it? Why do you think that people are in denial about their maladies?
Well, nobody really wants to be sick.
Right. Right.
I mean, nobody enjoys it.
But they certainly don't want to be dead.
No, I don't see anybody signing up for that.
So you'd think that people would be rushing down to their doctor saying, hey, I got some unusual things going on in my body. Can we find out what they are?
I think that most people should be checked out, especially as we start getting a little bit older.
Sure.
You know, we need to keep tabs on that.
Mm-hmm.
People are living longer, and the reasons we are is because we have a lot of ways to keep people around longer.
Sure, sure. And so one of the early ways of doing that is some of the tests that your department, Cardiopulmonary at Copper Queen Hospital, can provide for people.
A lot of preventative diagnostic work.
And so the best news that you can provide to somebody is, hey, you're A-OK.
That's what I like saying.
And there's a lot of that, isn't there?
There is, and it's nice to be able to show them that they're okay.
Yeah. And so That's some good news that you possibly can get out of some of that sophisticated testing as well.
Very much so. And a lot of people, will have some breathing issues, and they start to think that it's a lot worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to be able to go ahead and do a test and show them that, maybe all you need is an inhaler occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a seasonal thing.
Do you think that some of these ads on TV for some of the medication are helping or hurting your business?
Well, that's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I think, it helps.
It makes people aware.
It makes people aware. And I think the more education you can get, the better off we are.
Mm-hmm. Brad, anything else you want to say about yourself, about your department?
No, I enjoy being down here. I've really enjoyed working at the Copper Queen. They have a nice facility, and they're doing a lot of growing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad I could be a part of it.
The way up one of
Yes.
the stairwells. So
Wonderful.
people who have trouble climbing those 3 flights of stairs should no longer worry.
They won't
can
let
get
me
there.
use it. I want to, and they won't let me.
Not even as the very old Emily Dickinson?
Not even then.
Well, and somewhere in the play it talks about her going up the stairs 2 at a time, so I think she can do
Yeah.
that.
And hauling like 18-pound cakes around and things like that, yes.
Well, this has been a real treat, Krista. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as
Yeah.
you did very well, and I'm sure in front of the audience it's going to be great. You got
Yeah.
another week to?
Another week to pull whatever's left together, yeah.
I don't know. Well, at least that
Yeah.
5 minutes, 7 minutes
pretty
was
good, huh?
was pretty good. So you mentioned a couple of names. Austin, of course, was her brother, and the other name you mentioned was
Vinny. That would be my younger sister,
Oh, okay.
who stayed home eventually. She did not marry either. And
Well, I suppose the older sister had to marry first. And it
and
wasn't
I
going to
didn't
happen.
do that. No, was not going to happen.
You wrote left-handed. Is Emily left-handed?
I do not believe so.
Uh-oh.
I will feign right-handedness. I've
Okay.
said I will, but Gillis says no. Don't worry about it.
Nobody's going to know for sure.
Yes.
Krista, Ray, thank you very much for
Thank you, dear.
Yes.
enlightening the Bisbee audience with a little bit of
Yes.
literary style, and best of
you.
luck to you in your
Thank you.
in your production. And we'll probably be seeing you again before long with
Yeah.
your next production.
No doubt. We have all of the Smiths in our next one now.
Oh, God.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
You're going to have to do Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
We'll see you folks again next week. Thanks for joining us on the show. And if you want some exciting literature in your life, you know where to go. And if you got breathing problems or cardio problems, you know where you better go.
Stunning views and exquisite attention to detail make this house a unique find in Bisbee, Arizona. Come on in and see for yourself. Walk through the front door into the foyer to experience the loft-like open floor plan featuring built-in china cabinets in the dining room, solid wood cabinetry in the kitchen, and French doors that lead to one of 2 decks. Constructed in 1907, this completely remodeled home still whispers the elegance of original coffered ceilings and transom windows in the living room and rose oak floors in both bedrooms. The picture-perfect master suite has a full bath with convenient modern laundry area. The ceramic tile shower and furniture quality cabinet make the guest bath beautiful and unique. Currently being used as a den, the second bedroom has a small deck perfect for catching afternoon rays or stepping out to the private studio. The 300-square-foot studio is true inspiration for anyone who needs space to create something spectacular. There are scads of features you didn't get to see, like the wine cellar, the storage spaces, and terrace lots. Come see us or call us at 520-432-2456 or visit the website at longrealtybisbee.com.
Thank you for watching Focus on Bisbee. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Pro Office Equipment for sponsoring our set furniture, and Roadrunner Floors for furnishing some of our plants and other decor.